She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409, my 409. Well, I saved my...
Hello, and welcome to another instalment of my Bristol restoration project. In the last instalment, I took you around the car briefly and showed you some of the welding that had been done on the near side. I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you some of the problems that we're up against with this restoration, just to get you a flavour of the work that we're going to be doing over the next few months. Right, well here we have the front cubby of the car. A unique feature of the Bristol is that the front inner wings are used to store on this side the battery, electrics, servos, and on the passenger side the spare wheel, the wheel jack, etc. It's quite a good way of using space, but does make the wings rather long at the front. What you'll see here is that the floor has been cut away. I did this a little earlier today, and this is what we've removed. Now this should be a single sheet of 1.2 mil steel, and what you can see is that over the years people have patched this up in places to a point where here, for example, we've actually got 3, maybe 4 layers of steel, one on top of the other. It's more like a wafer than it is a sheet of steel now, and clearly that needs to go and be replaced. When we take this off, of course, what we can then see is the inner chassis, which is what we're really interested in at the moment. And the problem here is, of course, is that we've got good old tin worm in there, and it's all over the place really. And it's also on the inner wheel arch here, as you can see, going right up and through here, and all along the top. It's a shame really, because it means we've got a little bit of work to do in terms of welding. The good news is that this is all protected from the elements by the wing, and seems to be very sound indeed. And of course what this means is that we've got all this, which is once, I suppose, £250,000 worth of Bristol motor car by today's money. Now what you can see here is this is a closing panel, and what this does is bridges the gap between the inner chassis, which is like a horseshoe shaped chassis, and the outer sill, which in turn is then located by these metal brackets here, here and here, which keep it in place, and this forms obviously the bottom of the door on what is now a widened chassis over the original design. The sills are covered by this shaped aluminium section here, which goes across the length of the car and locates at the back of the wing there, and the next job is to remove that. Right, the inner wing is located onto the outer sill by a series of rivets, and I've taken them out already, all bar the last one here, and then it's what seems to be, to me, to be nailed in underneath to the bottom of the outer sill. I've gently eased that away most of the way along the length, so I'm hoping that someone's taken this rivet out at the end there, and there's a couple of what again looks like steel nails have been put through at the front that we'll be able to take the sill off. Let's have a go. And there you have it. Onwards and upwards. As part of this video, I wanted to show you a little tool that I picked up when I started doing this restoration. It was recommended by a friend. You get a pair of these things, and basically they're used to take out nuts and old screws where the heads are rounded off or have rusted away and you just can't get to them. All you do is you drill a hole into the head, or into the the sheared off bolt, maybe even a stud on the engine, to a diameter which is about half the thickness of this conical head here. Now this conical head has got a reverse screw on it, and as you tighten it up with a ratchet, basically it buries itself in, and then as you undo it, it grips harder and harder and takes the bolt out. Very clever, very simple, and saves an awful lot of heartache over drilling out bolts or having to use lots of WD-40, etc. Now what I hope you can see is that right here on this floor pan, this is actually a panel which in theory can be removed in order to get to the gearbox, but the bolts have rusted, or these are very shallow flat-headed bolts, have got completely rusted away, and any attempt to get a screwdriver on these is just hopeless. You can see this one bolt here, and what I've already done is I've drilled a 4.5mm hole into the top of the head. It took about 5 seconds, and now I've got this tool here, and what I'm going to do is just insert that into the hole, just lightly tighten it. You can't really tighten it too much, and then I'm going to get a ratchet on it. Help if I have it going the right way. And there you have it. The bolt's turning out. One bolt out. Brilliant.